afternoon and welcome to Talk Tea with Tea. I have the most special guest with me today. I'm so excited. The second I thought of doing a little YouTube show with guests, I thought of this girl because I'm obsessed with her Instagram page. I'm obsessed with her podcast. So you guys have to get to know her. Daniela, you can introduce yourself and let us know your handles and all that.
I'm Daniela Scrima, and you can find me online everywhere at either Daniela Scrima or my podcast account, which is BROADS next door. And we're an entertainment news, scandals, spooky stories, true crime show all over the place. So we have daily episodes Monday through Friday.
Oh my gosh. Well, we were just talking before I started recording about how Daniela was warning me that you can't say certain things on YouTube or you'll get censored or they'll shut your page down or not monetize you. Not that I'm monetized, but such good advice, because when she talks about true crime, like if you go on YouTube and talk about some stuff, they will flag you. And I'm flagged all over. I used to be flagged all over the place on Instagram because I used to just post what I wanted. And I posted a video from Monty Python of a guy like his head exploding and I got a violation. Like you just never know.
It's so funny too, because I'll get sometimes like the most horrible messages from people and then I'll report it because it's like literally a threat on my life, and Instagram is like, we checked this contact and it's great, we love it. So and
then they'll put a violation because you reposted a Britney Spears picture with her nipple showing, which she posted for what, billions of people. And I'm like, oh, look at this picture. And they're like, you're going to be knocked off of Instagram forever for this. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's like, we know we're not Britney Spears, but can't we share her joy with her? Can't we dance like that too?
No, I used to live in fear. And then finally I kind of got the hang of it after like 6 months of violations and them threatening to shut me down and taking away, like, if people wanted to do brand opportunities with me and they wouldn't let me and all this stupid stuff. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? This is not a scandalous page.
Right now, I'm blocked from liking other people's posts and adding people, and I have no idea why. I didn't get any violations. When I check under like account status, it's like you can comment and add people, and then I try and it's like action blocked. We do this to protect our community. And I'm like,
I think that's when isn't that when you do too much of it? Like when you like too much?
Yeah, but I would try and be really, really careful and like spread it out, because I've had that happen before. And last time they hit me with that, it lasted for a month, which really sucked, because then like people share my stuff and I don't like the post and look like such.
I never like anything on Instagram, so I guess I'm never gonna get. I mean, I never like anything.
You're smart. Really. You're smart.
I love your memes. I love your carefully curated posts. And I do like yours sometimes, but I'm very judicious about spreading my love around. I don't know why, but I'm
going to start being that way too.
So I've never been action blocked. But I have been, they have really flagged me a bunch of times, and now they don't anymore, but I have been shadow banned a few times. I got shadow banned like twice, where Instagram just stopped sharing you. And I used to really be obsessed with growing my page. This is back when I had like 4,000 followers, and it would like crush me. I would be crushed for like a month. I'd post about it nonstop, like my shadow ban.
I remember how upset you were for a while.
You know what's funny though? Now I would look at a shadow ban as freeing. Like, oh, I can post what I want and no one's gonna see it. And also when Bravo Labs or anybody blocks me, I used to really get personally hurt. And now I feel like, thank you. You've now freed me up to say whatever I want about you forever, because you blocked me. So now I don't care what I say.
What have you been watching on Bravo right now? What are your shows in circulation?
Okay, my favorite right now, my favorite two are obviously The Valley and Summer House, right? Like they're both just at the top of their game. Would you agree? Do you watch those?
I do. I'm behind on Summer House, but I'm very invested in The Valley. I feel like it is one of the darkest shows that has ever aired. It's like reminds me a lot of season 2 or 3 of Beverly Hills after Russell unalived himself. and then
Right.
like everything just kind of like goes back to normal because you have Brittany getting like the most abusive, insane texts from Jax like the whole episode, and she seems like she fully has like Stockholm syndrome, like afraid how to respond to him. And then there's that other D-bag, Jesse, I think his name is.
Jesse and Michelle have like an equally destructive, horrible.
I did get very upset with her when she was like, Jesse is worse than Jax. It was
No.
like, no one is. Like,
no, and I don't even think he has the potential to be, because we've all seen the villain origin story of Jax, and so we all know that he's a dangerous person and that his addiction is crazy. And that is a whole nother level from Jesse just being like a generic Hollywood LA douchebag.
Exactly. I could break Jesse in 3 days. Send him here for 3 days. He will be a broken man. He will be reading feminist literature. Jax Taylor, on the other hand, even if I had like a full year with him, I would need like surgical intervention. We would need to do like a light lobotomy on him to get things moving.
Yesterday I was reading on Reddit, of course, I was reading a transcript of Jax's conversation with Faith when he cheated on Brittany. There's a transcript on Reddit. It's so interesting. And he's talking to Faith about how like he's not that into Brittany, he's not attracted to her, and he'll never get married.
Yeah, she doesn't sleep with him. He is like so deprived, just so lonely.
And it literally made my stomach hurt.
And this is while they're like in the room with like a 90-year-old woman who's on like some kind of hospice care. Just like already just to be able to sleep with Jax, like I don't know, I think I'd need like the light lobotomy too to go into that. So to do it with like some woman in your care in the room and listen to him talk, at least she had the wherewithal to record him. I would be too. I'd be like, all right.
No, and the Valley is basically that scene from Vanderpump Rules made into an entire show.
The first season wasn't quite as dark. I think it gave us like some of the undertones that were to come. I feel I felt the same way about the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
I just watched the first episode of season 2 last night.
I haven't seen, I'm saving season 2 for this weekend. Sorry, let me turn my notifications off because it keeps coming through.
It's YouTube saying like, you just said unalived, you're banned.
Know. I'm allowed to say unalived. I'm allowed.
Okay. No, I just watched the first episode of season 2. I was not that into season 1, but I just feel a pressure with a blog page to watch this stuff so I can report back. And I have to say season 2, episode 1, all right, they sucked me in a little bit. They did suck me in.
I love Taylor Frankie Paul. I think she is like one of the most charismatic TV people, and her backstory is so funny too, because she had so many, like, she's so young, and I don't know if you ever followed her on TikTok. She had like a whole phase where she pretended she had a haunted house. She had a whole phase where she pretended she was 50 years old, and she'd post with 2 other Mom Talk girls, and she'd be like 50, 25. And I was just like, I respect this hustle so much. It's like my favorite kind of delusion, perfectly kept in balance. So I would watch anything with her in it.
Okay, I get the appeal, but the reason why I got turned off on the show last season was I felt like they were all just a little too produced. Like I really wasn't even buying some of the drama at all. I was like, come on now. But this season, I have to say, from reading all the stuff that happened in between seasons, I'm kind of more invested because I kind of feel like this stuff actually is happening to them.
It seems like they'll be a little bit more unfiltered too. I think on the first reality season, it's interesting now how media trained people are. Like Real Housewives of New York reboot, they were all way too until the end. They were all way too self-aware and kind of like media trained. Like we were never going to get a Scary Island from them.
No, unfortunately. I know, I agree with you. I mean, if you are going to have arguments on camera about how the other cast member is making you be portrayed on camera, it's not cool in a meta way. It is, wait, like you're taking us out of this. Or what are we watching here? Are we watching reality, or are we watching you guys pretend to be something that you're not? And that to me is the big ick on a reality show. When I start to think, wait, you're all playing a part, you're all acting, I'm not into this at all.
That's why I loved the first seasons of the Kardashians so much, where it was like this 30-minute show and Kourtney would give like Khloe a bikini wax and it was just so unhinged. And now you watch it and it's like the most highly produced thing. And they do the opposite where they're like, we're going to be really relatable. We're going to go to a grocery store. And it's like, get off my television at this point. You are insulting me. You are insulting me with your like cosplaying poverty. Like, we got a school bus for the kids.
Well, I still feel like the Valley is unproduced because I think that these people are such hot messes that they literally cannot produce themselves. I think they are just also flawed inherently, that we're always going to kind of get the rawness from Kristen. I mean, always.
That's what I was going to say. Kristen is on there, and she
Brittany even. I mean, they're just, these girls are who they are. I don't know.
They're unfiltered, and that's.
I don't know if they could become something different if they wanted to.
Did you watch Vanderpump Villa?
I tried.
I only could make it to. I tried and I couldn't get into it, but then I watched. Like there was this big fight between Stassi and Beau. I kept seeing like promos for, so I wanted to watch that. I think it's like episode 6 and it's Stassi's birthday dinner, and just randomly she's basically like to Beau, like, you want to F your sister, you have a tattoo of your sister's name,
I saw that.
And just like I was like, I really respect her for this because she's so aware of how she's going to be portrayed and she doesn't care anyway. She's just like, no, I'm going to say this about you being attracted to your sister for millions of people to see.
I mean, I feel like that possibly could be Stassi knowing what gets people watching and getting those ratings up. I mean, I'm sure there's truth to it, but I also think probably Stassi at this point knows exactly what she's doing when she has a clip like that and knows it'll go viral and knows people will freak out.
She must know. But
so you haven't seen the second season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, but
I haven't. I'm gonna binge it this weekend.
It's good. I have to say they got me back. I'm in. We'll see how it goes, but I'm kind of liking the dynamics. I'm liking all the stuff that's happened off camera. I'm like, okay, if you guys are not completely faking us all out, I might sit along for this ride, maybe. Still trashy TV though.
The only thing that bothered me with the first season is because like I agree for the most part that it was like really produced, and then they just cut to that one scene of Taylor with her partner in the garage and she gets arrested for it. I think it's like the end of the first episode, but that like stunned me because she shouldn't have gotten in trouble at all there. But
right. It was crazy, and it did get people to watch the next episode, so who cares in a way. But I don't know, the thing about these girls that bothers me so much, so that really, like, it's the same as watching The Valley, where you watch it and you're worried for them. Like, I'm worried on The Valley for Brittany if they film again next season with Jax. Like, how's this guy gonna act? What's he gonna do to her? Are we all gonna be watching when something terrible happens?
Are they just going to keep him on the show always, no matter what he does? I truly feel like out of everyone, he really doesn't have consequences, because they didn't get fired from BPR, did they?
What?
Did they get fired from BPR, or did they just leave?
No, they didn't ask Jax to come back.
Okay.
I don't know.
So that was something.
No, I'm pretty sure they didn't get asked back. First,
okay.
Jax. So it was, I guess, fired would be the name for it, but no, they did not want him back. And then he just spent years trying to get this Valley show off the ground, which I'm like, what in the world did you say to these people to get this? Because he's so obviously has had a problem for so long. He's so obviously a cokehead, right? Forever. So it's crazy to me that he got this off the ground, but it works great. And I can't see them firing him on the show because he's the one that brought the show together. I don't see it happening.
I don't think that they will either, even if they should.
But I'm worried for her. I'm worried for these people because they all seem like they're on a crash course for some sort of destruction. And the same with the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which obviously I feel like much more confident that these girls will make it through. But what I worry about is their ages and the fact that they're moms, and I worry about their kids' lives. I worry about what they're prioritizing in life, like this fame thing that is so pervasive in every episode. They're talking about mom talk. I mean, they break the fourth wall. They're like, oh, she wants to be back in mom talk because she wants the bag, she wants the money. And I'm like, wow, we're really talking about this. And it just shows you they can't avoid it. This is what they're doing. They're making money on TikTok.
also knowing how much money they make, like Whitney in the first season, she did a sponsorship with like a vibe company that I did one with too, and seeing that she got paid like $30,000 more than me, I was felt a little defeating. Not that her and I have the same audience, but I was just like, wow, they are making bank on this Mormonism, 5 babies before 25.
Right. And it's coming into the show because like the one girl with the husband, the blonde husband, Zach, I think his name is, it full on says on the show, like she makes so much money that he quit his like med school to move back to Utah and is not even going to work. He's just going to basically be her assistant for the year and be on the show with her, which is crazy. I mean, they're like,
that's crazy and not good long-term thinking. In my opinion, it's like on the Kardashians where Kim got robbed to drop out of law school because she was like, you only have a chance to be a model once. What's law school going to do for you? And that didn't turn out so great.
I know. And it's so tempting, I'm sure, for all of them. Like they're making great money. So let's all lean into it. Let's have our families lean into it. Like,
yeah, make the most while you can.
Right. And I get it. And I am 100% the kind of person that's like, you get that money however you can get it. I respect that. I respect the hustle. But I just wonder if the show will fizzle out because it's going to become too self-aware. At some point, it's not interesting to watch you guys talk about being on the show. You know, again, like I really am into like, if I'm going to watch reality TV, I want it to be reality, you know?
Or at least a different storyline than their fame. Like, unless it's just people like trying to process that, I think it's always interesting. Like when people realize they're being perceived and then kind of have like a freak out. That's where we see like the season 2 face a lot. Like people the first season look like really human. And then you see yourself on camera and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna redo it. So
to glow up is a real thing and it only gets worse each season. But you know, if you think about it, can you imagine seeing yourself on TV every single week and seeing what people say about you? And just
no, even on Instagram, the stuff people say, I'm like, holy, it can really impact you. And like, I'm a person with really, I feel like I have really good self-esteem and self-worth. And then someone will be like, you're ugly. And I'm like, what? You think I'm ugly? So
no one makes fun of my looks because I'm not face forward on Instagram at all, but they make fun of everything else about me. I'll tell a story about my childhood, or they'll say, well, there's no way that your father could be a professor if you grew up poor, so you're lying. Or your mom couldn't have been a state senator because you grew up on a farm. And I'm like, no, this stuff really happened. And it hurts more.
Professors, the richest of them all.
Right. I would rather, right, exactly. I would rather you make fun of my looks than make fun of my actual origin story.
My actual life.
It's crazy. I don't like the hate on Instagram. I'm very sensitive. I don't like it. I've really withdrawn on my page a lot in the past year because I just am so tired of getting dragged for everything I put out there.
Yeah, I'll have periods of time where I cut back. Like I always get asked to do Q&As, which I really like doing, and it starts out fun, and then the questions just get like so much meaner going throughout, where I'm just like,
well, I love your page so much because I just love the aesthetic of you in general. I just love that. I mean, Daniela basically reposts memes and quotes, but it's the way you do it is like poetry every day. I read my little poems on your Instagram page. So I'm so obsessed with it.
Thank you.
Then your podcast. So tell me about your podcast partner. How did you guys get that together?
So my podcast partner quit a year into the show. So it's solo now, which was traumatizing for me because we were doing the show and then she got really upset and she's like, I thought we were going to be more famous by now. And I'm like, no, nothing in the world works like this. Like you don't have a podcast for 6 months and then. But I think like TikTok and a lot of things have like warped people's concept of when something is successful. So she was really struggling and I was doing like so much more of the work and she was just getting really frustrated that we weren't like call her daddy or Joe Rogan or something. And I'm like, everyone builds their stuff for years. It only ever seems like people blow up overnight. But even all those people, if you like, people will say that about Chapel Rome. They're like, she blew up overnight, but she didn't. There were years and years and years.
He was on the promenade with a freaking guitar. Like, no, I know. And I wonder what happened to your podcast partner, because I thought you guys had a good rapport, but I think that your solo show allows you to be more of yourself, which is, so it's kind of a, like a bonus. What happened? I feel like, I mean, when you guys tune in, you'll see what I mean. I just feel like you're
gotten a lot of feedback like that, which is helpful, because I didn't know if I should quit for a while, especially because it's called Broads Next Door. So I'm now
right.
I'm like, and then I felt like changing the name to Broad Next Door would just kind of be stupid. So I kept it like that. But I like having being able to have guests on now too, and just release when I want. That's when I just was like, I could do daily episodes, so I'm gonna do that. And
so my page is Your Moms Are Watching on Instagram, and because I started it with two friends and we were moms and we thought we would talk about Bravo shows, and they literally lasted one day, and it was
wow.
And I never changed my name. I don't know why, but then after a while I was like, okay, so I'm not Your Moms Are Watching anymore. So Your Mom Is Watching, whatever. And I tried a few different names, and my followers went crazy on me. Like, no, Your Moms Are Watching. You can't be anything else.
I got the same consensus when I was like, should I change the name? Should I make
Broads Next Door is Broads Next Door. I agree with your followers. You have to keep it. But it's funny that we're both plural and we're not.
I know. Well, it's like we're representing like all the moms and broads who can't speak for themselves.
Well, I love
voice it. For the voiceless.
I will be tuning in to your podcast. This is just going to be a YouTube show for a little bit, because honestly, I don't feel confident enough in how I'm doing this to go on like podcast platforms. I feel like, come check me out on YouTube, and then eventually if I get really good at it or whatever, I could go do a podcast. But I feel kind of comfortable in this little, like, I have my tiny little, like, Wayne's World show, me and Wayne, like,
definitely you should come on Broads with me and do a full length episode. We can like pick a topic, and then you can like get your feet wet and get into the podcast vibe.
You're saying that. Well, my dad has 2 top rated podcasts on NPR. He's like a movie review shows that my dad has, John DeSando, if you want to look him up on NPR. And he is in the top 10. His shows are great. And his first comment to me on these shows were that I fawn over my guests too much. Like, I'm too nice. Like, I'm like, oh my God, you're so amazing. I'm like,
it'll wear off. I was like that too in the beginning. And then people start to come on and you're just like, hey. So.
Well, I mean, he's a legend. It's Movie Time with John DeSando is one of his. If you go on WCBE.org, you'll see my dad. He's like,
I know. I didn't realize that was your dad.
He's king of Columbus, Ohio, to be honest. But he's been watching my little progress here. I did have a podcast partner at first, but I just think in the end, it's easier to do it alone. I agree with you. I don't like sitting here talking to myself, so I might just do guests only from now on. Like, I kind of like have someone.
It's good to have like a base of guests that you can count on. Like, that's what I have, is like certain people that I'll do like an episode or 2 with every month. Because certain stuff, it is just harder to talk to yourself.
I feel so stupid.
Yeah, because it's like I'm saying stuff and then like kind of disagreeing and agreeing with myself to try to show both sides. And it's just something where it can be so much easier to have another person. So there are the ups and downs, but you'll keep getting the hang of it. You're really good at this stuff.
I'm just getting started. I did 4 episodes with her. I think they were great, but it just ended up being that now I'm doing it alone. It's fine. She has her own podcast. So that was the problem. Like, she has her own podcast where she talks TV, and it's an established podcast where she has amazing guests on there. And I think she wanted to come do one with me where we would just talk Bravo. And I want to talk about not just Bravo. So I think that was where there were a couple of reasons, but I love her. She's been my friend for like 35 years, and her podcast is great. But now I'm just going to sit here and see if I want to do guests, just myself. I'm not sure. I feel like it doesn't matter because there's like 40 people watching this. So who cares right now?
For now. Then
there is freedom in being anonymous and not knowing about you.
There is. Like, that was like my first favorite like podcast episodes that we recorded. The thing like that sucked is the sound quality was so bad in the beginning because I didn't have like a mic or anything. But which for audio is not. For video, it's like much more forgiving because someone sees you talking. But when it's audio only, if the audio is not good, then. But our topics were so good, and we were just so open and honest because no one was listening yet.
I know. I feel like, but I like to play off people and be funny with someone else. So it's weird for me to sit there and make jokes with like no one in the room.
I know. I do it all the time. And I'm like, I really hope this lands and I didn't just offend everyone.
I know. They're like, read the room. I'm like, what room? I don't know what room I'm in.
I'm alone in the room. Nobody else is here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I swear to God, you were like I knew you'd be a great guest because I love talking to you. So I can't wait to come on your podcast. And
yes, we'll talk. Well, I'll message you on Instagram and we'll talk details about that. I'm so excited to have you on.
Everybody go to Daniela Scrima's at Instagram, which is just Daniela Scrima, right?
That's it's just my name.
Just her name on Instagram, and listen to Broads Next Door. And okay, I'll talk to you soon. Love you.
Thank you. Love you. Bye.